have no idea where they're going with Starlight's character. Episode 5 of The Boys just came out, and a lot of you owe me an apology. Spoilers if you aren't up to date. First things first, we know for sure that Huey's mother is real. I'm not sure if the storyline was supposed to be heartwarming for a family that got to finally say goodbye. I found it appalling. Huey's dad couldn't be lucid for more than a couple hours before he went wild. We find out from his dad that Huey has done this before. He let his dog suffer instead of putting him down. The parallels with his father and him not being able to let him go was so clear. It made me just feel guilty for the poor man who was basically a zombie tearing up people. He was given V against his will. And no, Huey didn't do it. He brought that V there with the intention of doing it. Glad he got the catharsis that he wanted, but at what cost to this man's psyche? Look at this. This man was scared and crying towards his death when he was gifted a peaceful one originally. I'm just not liking who Huey's becoming. I've always liked the running gag that Starlight is a joke. I feel like the joke is getting a little old. Now her powers don't work. I'm so over her. I already found her judgmental and annoying. Like that episode when Butcher tells them he's dying and she's like, I told you that you were gonna die. Yeah, okay, I'm dying. Like, what is that gonna help me? And in here, I just found her whining and mopey, and I understand, like, she was just exposed and she lost everything she's been working for. I just have a really hard time sympathizing with this character. Like, Homelander was just killing a bunch of people and I was like, good for him. But something about her rage and despair is just not reaching me. It's not the actress. I think she's doing great. I really just can't put my finger on it. Once I figure it out, I'll let y'all know. Victoria, on the other hand, needs a spinoff. I love her. First of all, her storyline brought back Giancarlo Esposito, which is always going to be amazing. But I thoroughly enjoy her dynamic with everyone. Because at this point, everyone is a villain. Everyone's murdered. Everyone's done terrible things. Now we're playing a game of which motivations is closest to good. I'm not saying that Newman is the closest. It feels more like survival using the tools that she was given. Especially after seeing Marie and Gen V and how people with that type of powers are treated. We also have to remember that she is a woman of color, so that is a factor here in this world. She was looking for her baby dad. I felt her. I was like, this is emotion. This is what I want to see. What I love the most about her is she chooses to be diplomatic even though she has the power to not be. She had everyone's nose bleeding before she walked in that room. Speaking of the scientists, y'all owe me an apology because that dude is not real. Really interesting when you make a theory and people are always like, you need to read the books, especially when it comes to The Boys, because adaptations have the capacity to change, and The Boys in particular has deviated so much from the comics that it makes no sense to cite them anymore. Characters who died early are still alive. Some characters' origins just completely shifted. I know a mind goes when I see one. It's clear that this man is supposed to be the devil on his shoulder where Becca was the angel. If you notice, Butcher has been on demon time and we haven't seen Becca in a minute. Like, look at this man's face while he was watching Butcher talk to air. Butcher was definitely wild for cutting off that much of his leg though. Sage clearly knows that A-Train is the leak. And the fact that she's not revealing it is letting me know that she has a bigger plan. I really hope A-Train is smart enough to understand that same concept. Because I feel like he be begging to get caught. He always looks guilty. I was glad to see people from Gen V in this episode. Children are always the scariest part of fascism and are integral to maintaining it. They are the ones the most willing to be violent and dangerous. And they'd be the first ones to snitch. Speaking of snitching, Ashley is a wild girl. She's doing something shady enough for A-Train to blackmail her, but she clearly was ready to toss him out like, oh, you trying to break it with me? I thought I was gonna find Ryan's character to be annoying, but his development is becoming the most compelling part of the series. I can definitely see Homelander taking an effort to be a better father. He's still bringing that darkness out. Ryan is enjoying this. He's letting himself enjoy it because he feels like he's doing the right thing. That's a slippery slope. Once you start torturing people, where does it end? How long do we have before Ryan is too far gone? But he definitely seems to be connecting with his father and getting more comfortable in his own skin. Now he knows he has the freedom to do whatever he wants. This episode was good. I enjoyed it. It didn't wow me like the others, but there was a lot of place setting here that I think we're going to see in fruition in the next couple of episodes. I give it 3.5 out of 5 Frankie Flames.